Fabrizio Romano confirms that Antony will not be part of the Ajax 11 as the player is set to go on strike. Ajax absolutely do not want to sell Antony for a transfer fee under 100 million euros. In the most extreme case, the Brazilian can go on strike until the 1st of September. But Manchester United and Ajax are holding negotiations to get this deal done and complete. And it is expected that Manchester United will offer somewhere in the region of 100 million euros to bring the Brazilian winger to Manchester United to get the deal done, dusted, and over the line to strengthen the attack, to solidify the right hand side, and to help Eric Ten Hag improve this Man United team and try to get them back to winning ways. Smash the like button, subscribe to the Football Terrace. Make sure you're downloading OneFootball as well, our title sponsors, the very best one-stop shop for all your football needs. Click on the link in the description below or the QR code on the screen right now. Let's do it. Matei Moreto here states, it's true that Atletico Madrid rejected an offer of 130 million euros from Manchester United for Joao Felix. Atletico does not want to sell Joao, and Joao does not want to leave. The reason for me showing you this piece of news is very important, and we'll come back to that later on during this show. But Antony is a player that Man United have been chasing for large parts of this summer. I don't think anybody would deny it. I don't think anybody is going to pretend this isn't an out-and-out top target for Eric Ten Hag, a player that he wants. The price is the big sticking point here, not just in terms of the negotiations, but Man United fans fully getting behind the idea of this deal. Man United fans are, to a degree, kind of odds over whether or not to think this is a good deal or not. Antony is now doing what I personally predicted he would do. No sources, no information, just a general feeling. And he is going on strike. He is refusing to play. He is requesting a transfer. Whether or not he ticks all the boxes for this to be called an official transfer request or not, I personally don't really care about. It really isn't important to me whether you want to call it that or not. This is a transfer request in all intents and purposes. As the brilliant Fabrizio here says, he understands that he won't play. Antony wants Man United and hopes for Ajax to negotiate with United when the new bid will be submitted. And I think that's confirmation there from Fabrizio Romano that a new bid will be submitted for the player. Confirmed here that negotiations will take place. The player's side is waiting as Antony wants the move. And I think that, you know, the Dutch press is kind of playing this down a little more. It's very much making Ajax look in control of this, and they are to a certain degree. However, the player does want to leave. Will Man United get the price below 100 million euros? If they do, it will be no more than 5 million euros below that asking price. United are going to have to pay a pretty penny here to bring the player in. And that's why I thought the Joao Felix news was interesting, because United have played their hand here. If they have indeed, and it's been confirmed by very credible sources, made a 130 million euro bid for the player, you've shown Ajax that you've got the money. And if you've suddenly gone for Joao Felix with 10 days of the transfer window to go, clearly you're getting a little bit desperate to bolster your attack. Therefore, we are not going to budge. It makes Ajax very strong in this negotiation element, and Man United will probably have to roll over and accept the demands to land the player. Now, the big question is Antony worth 100 million euros? The answer is no. No uncertain terms. Right now, as it stands, it's well above his market value. He doesn't score enough goals or assists to warrant that kind of money. And although he's highly talented, very, very technically gifted, can beat a man. He does score and he does create. 100 million euros is a huge, huge investment and comes with a large amount of risk for Manchester United. And it's a deal that Eric Ten Hag and the Man United board need to be in complete agreement on. And there needs to be not just a true belief, but the true belief has to come to fruition and come to light that he is good enough to not only perform to the same consistency he has done in an Ajax shirt, but he has to go to another level. He has to achieve a standard of performance and output to warrant that price tag. It will make him the most expensive football player in Manchester United's history. And it doesn't matter that Man United are in the mud right now. Fans should still have the same level of expectation. And if Eric Ten Hag is demanding that he comes in, but the club isn't sure that the player is worth the money, this is where a sensibly run football club should put a stop to the deal. A sensibly run football club with good football decision makers would say, listen, we know you want him, Eric, but we don't believe that he's good enough and there's better value elsewhere. Very, just research what happened in terms of who Jurgen Klopp wanted and who FSG actually went and signed. Michael Edwards went and signed in and around the Mo Salah situation. It isn't always about the manager's number one target. So it does come as a very big risk. It is a situation that it has to go right. This deal will be scrutinized. The player will be on fraud watch every single game by rival fans and by a lot of Manchester United fans. Of course, as a United supporter, I hope that this works, but I am very, very nervous about that level of money, that level of pressure on such a young player who so far has shown he's highly talented, but to warrant 100 million euros, a club record fee, I'm not too sure about personally. But Man United do need to strengthen. And I want to bring you to another story that's circulating because this is key for Man United fans to focus on. Rashford has encouraged PSG in conversations over a proposed move. The agent is now understood to be operating as an intermediary. Man United have insisted that the player is not for sale. Now, Marcus Rashford, this is from Duncan Castles, is seemingly ready to go. Manchester United have bid 130 million for Joao Felix. And I keep hearing, well, go get Anthony or Gakpo. This is where Man United fans have got to wake up and smell the coffee. We may be able to raise even more money by selling Marcus Rashford. I do believe players like Rashford, players like Maguire, one at least should go. If two went, I think it would be a very positive thing for the dressing room and the club. From the point of view of it, there would be such sacrificial signings and proof that no one at the club is safe. You've got to maintain a standard. You've got to maintain a level of performance. Otherwise, there's no place for you at Man United. But Man United fans should also be looking at this from the point of view of, well, where's the investment? In fact, you shouldn't even need to sell Rashford to sign Gakpo. If you've offered 130 million pounds for Joao Felix, it's only going to cost you somewhere in the region of about 130, 140 million euros to sign Gakpo and Anthony. So for similar money to what we bid for Joao Felix, you could sign Anthony and Gakpo. Manchester United should be doing that. Now, there is a report that you saw me put on the screen there that came from Simon Maddox that Man United is still in for Frankie de Jong, Anthony, and Gakpo after the Glazers gave the green light to spend more funds. Now, I hope this story is true. I don't think we're going to get de Jong at this point, but de Jong's a 70, 80 million pound player. Anthony is a 90 odd million, 85 million pounds player, and Gakpo seemingly around that 30 million pounds mark. Now, let's go and get all three. And if we can't get de Jong, let's spend that money on another top class midfield player that we could go and get. Milinkovic-Savic is an example. Ruben Neves was balling out yesterday in the game against Tottenham. Maybe the club want a little bit more for the future. You've got the likes of Casado, who is an option. Go and spend that money. You know, Man United might want more of a ball progressor. Yuri Tillemans is available for 25 million pounds. You could essentially go and get Casado, Yuri Tillemans, and maybe even Ruben Neves for the same price as Frankie de Jong, as an example here. And if you were to throw in the sale of a Maguire or a Rashford, you could cover those costs if this story is true. But this is where Man United fans shouldn't be rolling over and saying, oh, thank you to the Glazers. Thank you to the club for finally spending and giving the manager 5, 6, 7 new players. This should be a prerequisite. This should be something that was done time ago. But on top of that, we should be demanding that we get these players in and we fix positions. And if we're not going to get one of our main targets, that money is repurposed elsewhere. So if you believe we bid for Joao Felix, but we don't go and get both Gakpo and Anthony, who play on opposite sides of the pitch, the big question is why? If you're willing to spend that money on Joao Felix, why would you not go and buy those other two? Is it because Joao Felix is seen as a commercial signing as much as a footballing signing? He's very famous. He would sell a lot more shirts. I think he would sell more shirts than Gakpo and Anthony combined. Is that the motivation in terms of the Glazers? What can we do to bring in, to appease our sponsors, essentially? We get Joao Felix wearing a sponsor's watch. We get Joao Felix pretending he's drinking a glass of wine from our wine sponsor. We obviously have an increase in shirt sales. There would probably be a spike in the stock market. They would sell some of those stocks, as we already know they've been trying to do, and make tens of millions of pounds for themselves. There is certainly in the back of my mind a feeling that is the motivation. There really, really could be. So Man United fans have got to demand this money is spent. Gakpo, Anthony improve United. Gakpo is probably valued and priced at a very reasonable amount. Anthony, probably 30 million pounds, like minimum over. But do they improve us? Absolutely. Do they make Manchester United better? Yes, they do. And we've got to demand this gets done. It's going to be an interesting next few days to see what happens in relation to the strike action, as you can see here from the likes of Fabrizio Romano, and of course the report here from Mike Vivell. Gakpo seemingly available. Rashford may be looking for a way out, and talks ongoing. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on this news. Make sure you're smashing that like button before you leave. Click on the link to download the brilliant app from OneFootball, or scan that QR code on the screen now. And when I tell you it's a brilliant place for news, stats, league tables, football highlights, you can even watch Serie A games that are streamed live on the app as well, plus much, much more. Go and check it out. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. See you soon.